wake up, but you don't move. Your alarm screamed, your body ignored it. 5 more minutes, you whispered, and just like that, you lost the first battle of your day. Weakness doesn't show up screaming, it whispers, it lures, it deceives, and most men fall. You scroll your phone. Another man is already running 10 miles. Another man finished his morning meditation. Another man looked in the mirror and said, "I'm not negotiating with myself today." But you're still negotiating. If you're tired of being dominated by your emotions, if you're sick of starting over, if you're done watching discipline win in others while it dies in you, then listen. Because I'm going to teach you how to act like nothing affects you. Even when the storm hits, even when doubt screams, even when every cell in your body begs you to stop. I'm Napoleon Hill, and today I'll hand you the mental weapons to dominate yourself. But only if you're ready to kill weakness and walk into the fire of discipline. Let's get one thing clear. Discipline is not a mood, it's a mindset. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. The successful don't wait, they command themselves. When I wrote Think and Grow Rich, I wasn't writing for soft men. I was writing for the few, the ones willing to face their inner war. And that war, it's fought in silence, in sweat, and in moments no one claps for. Good reads. You see, discipline isn't about motivation, it's about self-command. The weak man says, "I don't feel like it today." The disciplined man says, "I don't care how I feel, I move anyway." Archive de textos sagrados, +4. Wikipedia, +4. Wikipedia, +4. You want to know what separates the average from the unstoppable? It's not talent, not luck, it's daily discipline. In the world of Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Power over your mind, that's the route, that's the path. Men like Theodore Roosevelt, Jocko Willink, David Goggins, they didn't rise because life was kind. They rose because discipline became their default. While others react, they respond. While others panic, they plan. While others crave comfort, they embrace the hard. Inspiring quotes, yes. If this message is already hitting you, hit like right now. Why? Because each like makes this content reach more men who are lost without discipline. Men who can rise as you are doing now. Discipline is what separates men who control their emotions from those who are slaves to them. You don't need another morning routine. You need to make a decision. From this moment forward, you no longer obey feelings. You obey discipline. You no longer move when it's easy. You move because it's hard. You no longer follow motivation. You follow a code. Your internal code of dominance. This is the foundation, and without it, every strategy fails. Now I'll show you how to build that discipline from the ground up, step by brutal step. You want to become unshakable? Then stop giving permission for the world to shake you. The truth is, most men are weak because they react. Not because life is hard, but because they've built no fortress around their mind. The nothing affects me mindset is not arrogance. It's emotional control, built through discipline. Ask yourself, what happens when she leaves, when your boss insults you, when your bank account hits zero? Most men crumble. They cry, they rant, they blame. But the man with daily discipline, he leans into the fire and does not flinch. He whispers, "This is the test, and I've trained for this." Discipline rewires your response to pressure. It makes you immune to chaos. Napoleon Hill, +19 quick book summary, +19 Wikipedia, +19 Wikipedia, +2 Wikipedia, +2 Inc, +2 start here. When something offends you, pause. Don't react. Don't respond. Let silence carry your power. You don't owe the world your energy. You owe yourself dominion. Every time you react emotionally, you give power away. You hand the keys of your mind to someone else. And here's the raw truth. You cannot claim to be disciplined if you're always reacting. Discipline is measured in your pause. It's the seconds between stimulus and response. When someone yells at you, insults you, disrespects you, what happens next? Do you explode? Or do you command your energy? Let me teach you what I taught CEOs, generals, and world leaders. Control begins with command. You cannot command the world until you command yourself. When you train your discipline daily, you become less reactive and more strategic. You observe without absorbing. You see, feel, calculate, and then decide. This is war strategy, and the battlefield is your mind. Here's a challenge. Comment below what situation usually steals your control. Say it. Expose it. That's the first step to dominating it. Use this exercise. When you feel anger, pause and breathe. 3 seconds. Inhale, hold, exhale, then ask, what outcome do I want here? Discipline isn't about being robotic. It's about being in control, even in chaos. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every opinion matters. The undisciplined man tries to fight every battle. He bleeds over things that don't matter. But the disciplined warrior, he masters the art of strategic indifference. What does that mean? It means you don't waste your mental energy on things beneath your mission. Someone gossips about you? Let them. Someone doubts you? Perfect. Someone betrays you? Good. Now you know. You're not here to explain yourself. You're here to build yourself. When you're focused on growth, you can't afford emotional detours. Use this mental command. If it doesn't build me, it doesn't deserve me. Strategic indifference is not apathy. It's directional discipline. You don't respond because you're weak. You stay silent because you're stronger than the distraction. Napoleon Hill. Every time you choose indifference, you sharpen your focus. Every time you ignore noise, you amplify your results. This is how you conserve energy for what matters: your mission, your growth, your domination. If this is resonating with you, hit subscribe right now. You're not subscribing to a channel. You don't respond because you're weak. You stay silent because you're stronger than the distraction. Every time you choose indifference, you sharpen your focus. Every time you ignore noise, you amplify your results. This is how you conserve energy for what matters: your mission, your growth, your domination. Now listen, you can't expect to rise in life if every word from others still shakes your soul, if every insult still finds a way into your chest, if every look, every judgment, every post makes you question yourself. That's not strength. That's emotional slavery. The man who lives for approval is a prisoner. The man who disciplines his mind is free. You need to understand that criticism is part of the path, and it's not a glitch in the system. It is the system. If you can't take hits, you're not built for high places. The higher you rise, the louder the crowd. The more you evolve, the more resistance you'll face. Not from enemies, but from weak minds who fear your growth. Their words, they're not weapons. They're echoes of their own insecurity. Let them talk, let them judge, let them whisper. But you, stay focused, stay silent, stay on mission. The lion does not turn when the dog barks. The disciplined man does not explain himself to the undisciplined, because words don't win wars, actions do. Your response to criticism must be this: I see it, I hear it, I do not care. You don't explain discipline, you live it. You let your results make the noise. You let your transformations slap the doubt out of their mouths. And right now, if you feel this in your gut, do this. Leave a comment saying, I rise in silence. That's the code now. That's the identity you adopt. The world will notice when your discipline turns into results so loud they can't be ignored. Now let me take you deeper. Most men think power is about volume. That control is about shouting. That strength is about size. But that's a lie. Real strength is silent. Real control is still. Real power doesn't make noise. It makes presence. In a room full of noise, the quiet man is king. He doesn't react. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't explain, because he knows who he is. He knows why he moves. He knows what he's building. This is the discipline of silence. When others yell, he breathes. When others post, he builds. When others announce, he strikes. You don't need to tell the world what you're doing. Just do it. Show up early. Train hard. Work late. Study in silence. And when it's time, let the results speak. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them question how you never said a word and still dominated. That's discipline. That's control. That's real masculinity. Here's a tactical command. Go 7 days without announcing anything. No stories, no sharing your moves. Just execution. See how focused you become when you don't owe the world an update. You don't need attention, you need results. You don't need followers, you need discipline. Say it with me right now in your mind. I move in silence. I execute without permission. I don't talk, I dominate. And if you're the kind of man who wants to sharpen this mindset every week, then subscribe. Not for me, for you, for the next level you're building, for the mission you're committed to, because the content coming next will punch your excuses in the mouth. Now we go deeper. Let's talk about pressure when the heat rises, when the deadlines crush, when emotions roar. Most men break, most men run, most men fold, but not you, not anymore. Because now you will train yourself to remain calm. Calm is your superpower. Calm is your battlefield advantage. Calm is the result of discipline. The more chaos outside, the more stillness inside. This is a skill, a mindset, a way of life. Picture this. You're in the fire. The deal falls through. The person betrays you. The numbers crash. But you breathe. You stay composed. You keep moving. Because you know. Pressure doesn't break you. It reveals who you truly are, and you are disciplined. Calm isn't weakness. It's a sign you've trained. It means your mind isn't reactive. It's surgical, it's strategic, it's sovereign. When the world burns, your mind stays cold. Not because you're emotionless, but because you are in control. And this control, it is earned. Through reps, through resistance, through pain. So I want you to start training calm. Next time pressure hits, don't react. Pause, breathe, command your thoughts, command your energy. Say this internally: I am calm, I am in control, I respond with strength. That's your code now. Drop this code in the comments. Calm under chaos. Let the world know what you're becoming. This is how we train. Together, in silence, through fire. Now tell me, are you starting to feel this change inside you? Are you seeing the man you're becoming take form? Then share this video, not because I need it, but because there's another man out there right now, breaking, quitting, giving up. And this message, this discipline, it might be the very thing that saves his mind. Share this with someone who needs to rise. Be the reason another man wakes up to his strength. And if no one's told you this before, then let me be the first. You are not your past. You are not your weakness. You are not your mistakes. You are the sum of what you choose from this moment forward. And if you choose discipline, if you choose silence, if you choose control, then there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing. You're not just becoming better. You're becoming bulletproof. You're not just becoming better, you're becoming bulletproof. Every day you follow this path, you kill the version of yourself that was weak, and in that place, a new force is being born. Quiet, controlled, dangerous. Now we move into the next level of this transformation. You've learned to control reaction. You've trained your calm. But there's something even more powerful, the ability to let go of what you cannot control. That right there is true discipline. Weak men obsess over everything. They worry about the future. They drown in opinions. They cling to what slipped away. But the disciplined man, he only invests his energy where he has power, his thoughts, his words, his choices. Everything else, he lets it go. That's not indifference. That's intelligence. That's mental mastery. When you try to control the uncontrollable, you waste your fire. You spend your strength on shadows. And then you wonder why you're tired, bitter, and empty. Let go of the people who don't align. Let go of the outcomes you can't guarantee. Let go of the noise that steals your focus. And say this to yourself every morning: if it is outside my control, it is beneath my concern. That's the code. That's the discipline. That's the power. Right now, I want you to comment: I only focus on what I control. Lock it in. Repeat it. Make it your new internal language, because your words shape your identity, and your identity shapes your actions. You are no longer ruled by circumstances. You are ruled by command. Now we get tactical again. Here's the next command for your mission. Stop talking. Start doing. I'll say it again. Stop talking. Start doing. Most people use words to fake action. They talk about goals. They talk about moves. They talk about visions. But they don't execute. You're done with talk. You're now on the path of silent execution. Let them talk about their plans. Let them post about dreams. You show up. You do the work. You disappear into action. And you let your results scream for you. This is the way of the unseen warrior. No applause, no spotlight, just reps, just focus, just war. Here's your challenge. Go 5 days without announcing anything. No stories, no captions, no updates. Every time you want to tell, use that energy to build. Use that urge to move. And at the end of those 5 days, you'll be more focused, more dangerous, more disciplined than you've ever been. Let's push it further. Do this. Write your top 3 goals. But don't post them. Don't share them, hide them, memorize them, breathe them, obsess over them in silence, then execute with precision. And when the results come, they'll speak so loudly no one will remember you were ever silent. If you're ready for that level of commitment, hit like again. Not for the algorithm, for the man inside you rising through discipline. Every like here is a signal that you're choosing to step out of noise and into command. Let's talk now about your mental training. You train your body, you train your skills, but have you trained your mind today? That's the most important gym you'll ever step into. Mental strength doesn't come from hope. It comes from drills, daily, relentless, repetitive. You must wake up with clarity. Start with a phrase: I command my mind, I command my state, then move immediately. Make your bed, cold water, read 2 pages of something that expands you, do 10 push-ups. It doesn't matter what the ritual is. What matters is that you're in control before the world touches you. Discipline means you don't check your phone before you check yourself. The mind you feed first is the mind that will rule your day. Most men lose the battle by 7 a.m. They hand over their thoughts to screens, to fear, to garbage. You now lead your thoughts from moment 1. Throughout the day, catch your mind. Ask, is this thought serving me? Is this emotion useful right now? Am I still in control, or did I hand the wheel to impulse? The more you ask, the stronger your awareness becomes. And awareness is the root of control. Before bed, reflect. Not emotionally, tactically. Did I move with discipline today? Did I act from strength or from reaction? Where did I win? Where did I give power away? You don't do this to beat yourself up. You do it to sharpen the blade. Every night is your debrief. Every morning is your battlefield. Comment now. I train my mind daily. Say it, own it. That's how warriors talk. That's how commanders think. Now lean in, because I'm going to say something only a few will truly understand. The most powerful man in the room isn't the richest, isn't the strongest, isn't the loudest. It's the man who can walk through chaos and never lose himself. The man who can be disrespected and remain composed. The man who can be underestimated and still dominate silently. That man is feared. That man is rare. That man is you if you keep going. And if this is hitting a nerve, I want you to do one more thing. Share this with one person, one brother, one friend, one man who's slipping, because you don't rise alone. The disciplined man doesn't just climb, he pulls others up too, and the world needs more men like you, quiet, strong, intentional. What's coming next will push your limits even further, but that only matters if you're here. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Why? Because this isn't entertainment. This is a mission, and every new video will be your next mental rep, your next internal order, your next reason to destroy the weak voice inside you. You're building something now. You feel it, you sense it. Keep showing up, keep training. Keep choosing silence over weakness, command over chaos, discipline over comfort. You are closer than ever to becoming untouchable. And when that day comes, when the world finally realizes who you've become, they won't remember what you said. They'll remember how you moved, how you built, how you never broke. You kept going. When others broke, you stood. When the pressure mounted, you stayed still. When excuses screamed, you moved anyway. That's discipline. And now, it's time to sharpen that discipline into something even more dangerous. Into silence, into cold execution, into lethal consistency. Let's talk about a truth no one else wants to hear. The world rewards results, not effort. It doesn't care how hard your life is. It doesn't care what you feel. It doesn't care what you planned. It only sees what you built, what you finished, what you delivered. And that's exactly what separates men who fantasize from men who dominate. You must train yourself to execute in silence. Stop explaining your vision. Stop convincing people. Stop waiting for understanding. Move, alone if necessary. Quietly if needed, but always forward. The disciplined man doesn't ask for applause. He builds his own stage through results. And when it's done, he doesn't say a word. The success speaks louder than anything he could post. Do this now. Choose one goal, just one. Write it down, and vow this: I will speak nothing about this until it's done. Then disappear into the process. Show up daily. Repeat the reps. Refuse the noise. And when it's finished, you'll have done more than most ever will, because you moved in silence. The most dangerous men I've mentored moved like shadows. No status, no shouting, no validation, just precision, ruthless focus, immovable timelines. They weren't motivated, they were locked in. Not because someone was watching, but because they were at war with their old self. That's where you are now. And this war, it requires a new kind of obedience, not to others, but to yourself. Say this now in your mind: I obey the code. I execute without excuse. I owe nothing to weakness. Let that become your loop, your internal drumbeat. And when life gets loud, when distractions rise, when comfort tempts, you return to the code. Drop it in the comments now. I obey the code. That's the standard. That's the fire that burns through doubt. Now understand this, there's another level most men never touch, the level of emotional indifference. You hear that? Emotional indifference. That doesn't mean you're cold, it means you're surgical. It means you don't let temporary feelings disrupt permanent goals. Because emotions are liars, they scream now and regret later. But discipline stays. Discipline wins. When you feel tired, discipline moves. When you feel angry, discipline holds. When you feel afraid, discipline steps forward anyway. That's the difference between a slave and a king. One obeys emotion, the other commands it. Here's your next tactical training. Next time emotion spikes, pause. Say nothing, do nothing. Just breathe and observe. Watch what the undisciplined version of you wants to do, then do the opposite. Replace reaction with command. Replace emotion with execution. That's how you rewire identity. That's how you dominate internally. Let me ask you something now, and be honest. How much of your life has been ruled by feelings? How many times have you chosen comfort over purpose? How many moments have you lost because emotion made the call? Too many. And that ends now. You don't rise by being right. You rise by being ruthless with your patterns. You rise by saying, "This ends here." So say it with me right now. I do not obey emotion. I lead with discipline. Say it again. Let it burn in your chest. Say it until it silences the part of you that's been afraid to change. And if this is pushing you, good. That means it's working. That means the old version of you is being exposed. If you feel uncomfortable, lean in deeper. Because the edge of your discomfort is where your power lives. Don't run from it, run through it. Now let's talk legacy. You think discipline is about habits? No. Discipline is how men are remembered, not for what they wanted, but for what they conquered. Your children won't inherit your emotions. They'll inherit your standards. Your name will not be tied to your dreams. It will be tied to your discipline. So I ask you, what do you want your name to mean? When they speak of you, will they say, "He was always talking, always planning, always falling short"? Or will they say, "He moved like a machine. He didn't flinch. He didn't quit. He was different. He was disciplined"? That choice is yours, but not someday. Now, today, in this moment, with this decision. Now, if that vision hit you, if you saw the man you're supposed to be, share this message. Not for me, for you. For the next man who needs to hear this, the next soul, drifting in weakness, waiting for a brother to wake him up. Be that voice, be that fire, be that trigger. And don't forget, this isn't just one video, this is a movement. And if you're not subscribed yet, fix that now. Because every week we're going deeper, stronger, sharper, and if you're not in, you're falling behind. This is your gym, your forge, your weapon. And it's just getting started. You've come too far to stop here. Too much has been burned for you to walk away. You've already begun the process of becoming unbreakable. Now all that's left is to finish it. Because the world doesn't care how loud you were, only how far you went. And you're not just going far. You're going to a place no one thought possible. You're going further than most because you're building deeper than all. Every word you've heard so far isn't just motivation, it's blueprint. And the foundation you're laying now, stone by stone, is discipline. Let's take it even further. Let's talk about how you use pressure as fuel. Most men collapse under pressure. You train with it. You treat pressure like oxygen. You inhale it. You let it sharpen you. You let it mold your nerves into steel because you've learned something most will never accept. Pressure is not the enemy. Pressure is the gatekeeper. You don't run from it anymore. You walk into it with calm eyes. You face deadlines, you face bills, you face betrayal. And instead of shaking, you adjust your spine. Instead of panic, you prepare. And in that moment, you rise above 90% of the world. Because pressure is where greatness is forged. No warrior was born in peace. No empire was built in comfort. Every man you admire was tested in fire. And guess what? They didn't pray for it to stop. They became stronger than the fire. Say this to yourself right now. I don't run from pressure. I rise through it. Again, say it louder inside your mind until it silences every excuse. And now I want you to comment it below. Pressure builds me. Let that be your statement, your public declaration. Not because you need to be seen, but because your old self needs to see you take control. Now lean in deeper. Let's talk about identity. Discipline isn't just something you do, it's who you become. It's the name you earn when no one's watching. You're no longer the man who tries. You're the man who follows through. You don't hope anymore, you decide. That's identity, that's real transformation. It happens when you stop describing the man you want to be and start behaving like he's already inside you. Every time you act with discipline, you feed that identity. Every time you delay gratification, you feed it. Every time you show up when no one claps, you reinforce it. Here's a truth. You are what you tolerate from yourself. If you tolerate weakness, you will reflect weakness. If you tolerate excuses, your life will be built on them. But if you demand discipline, ruthless, daily, aggressive discipline, then you will walk like a man who cannot be touched. And that's the energy you must carry from here forward. Not arrogance, certainty, because you earned it in silence. In the mornings when no one saw you. In the workouts when your body screamed. In the focus sessions where distractions tried to steal your progress. You are building the man who moves without flinching, who operates with power even when drained, who looks the enemy in the eye and doesn't blink. Now breathe that in. Let it settle. This is not a phase. This is your new baseline. You're not experimenting with discipline. You are married to it. It is no longer optional. It is your operating system. Now let's bring this into your daily life. You don't need to do more. You need to do the right things, more ruthlessly. Here's your checklist. 5 commands. Memorize them, live them, die by them. Number 1, command your morning. Before the world touches you, you touch your code. Movement, breath, repetition of purpose, no negotiation. Number 2, reject distractions fast. The faster you cut, the stronger you grow. Every no to distraction is a yes to your next level. Number 3, simplify your battlefield. Too many goals, too many tasks. Cut them down. Win 3 things daily, not 30 half done. Number 4, embrace boredom. Success isn't exciting, it's often mechanical. The disciplined man finds power in repetition. Number 5, reward nothing until it's earned. No dopamine before duty, no celebration before results. That's the rule now. Live by this code and your life will start reflecting your power. Not your potential, your power. And if this is clicking with you, if you're realizing that this is the life you were born for, then subscribe right now. Because this isn't just a video, it's a system. And I'm going to keep sharpening that system, pushing it into your mind like a blade until your inner victim dies completely. And here's the part where most men stop. They hear all this, they nod, they feel fire, but then they go back to their old habits. You won't, because you're still here, and that alone puts you in the 1%. You're not looking for a quick fix. You're here to burn weakness to the ground and replace it with armor. This final piece for today, it's about movement. You've done the inner work. Now comes the outer, action in silence, precision in movement, daily without fail. Set one goal for the next 72 hours. 1. Then give it your full attention. Don't post about it. Don't talk about it. Just complete it with force. When you finish it, repeat the process. That's how you stack wins. That's how you bury the old you. That's how you create momentum that no one can interrupt. And if you've been holding back from sharing this video because you thought it's just for you, now's the time to act different. Share it with another man who needs to hear what you're hearing, not for views, for victory. His, yours, ours. We rise together, but only through discipline. You're almost unshakable, almost. Now we take it even further. Prepare yourself, because in the next part, we forge the final layer of mental armor. You've come this far because something inside you refused to settle. You didn't click away. You didn't scroll past. You stayed. And staying, that's rare. That's the first sign that the fire in you is real. Now we go deeper. Now we enter the final territory, the layer most never reach. Mental governance, the complete control of your internal kingdom. Not partial control, not conditional, but total, unwavering, complete command of your thoughts, your reactions, your instincts. This is where the elite live. This is where men become machines of execution. And make no mistake, that's what you are becoming. Because most people operate from feelings, but not you. You operate from a code, a written, lived, enforced internal system. That code doesn't care about how you feel. It only asks one thing: did you execute? Think about this. A pilot doesn't land a plane based on emotion. A surgeon doesn't cut based on inspiration. A sniper doesn't fire based on mood. They act from training, protocol, rehearsal, precision, and that's what you're installing in your life now. Your mornings are no longer reactive. They're designed. Your actions are no longer based on comfort. They're calculated. Your habits are no longer suggestions, they're law. You are building a system that runs even when motivation dies. That's real power. Most men crumble without motivation, but discipline doesn't need permission. Discipline doesn't need praise. Discipline moves anyway, because it's not just an action anymore, it's an identity. Now I want you to pause and repeat this in your mind. I am not my thoughts. I am the commander of my mind. Again, louder inside. I am not my thoughts. I command my mind. Let's reinforce that. Comment it below. I command my mind. That's your new mantra. That's your shield against emotion, distraction, confusion. Now, let's sharpen your tools even more. Mental governance means you don't just wait for thoughts. You plant them. You don't just react to the mind. You train it, you discipline it. So here's what you start doing immediately. Every morning before your feet hit the ground, run a script, not a fantasy, a verbal command, out loud if you can. Say this: today, I move with power. Today I act with precision. Today nothing controls me. I move with discipline. I don't flinch. I don't beg. I don't wait. I build. I dominate. I execute. Say it like you mean it. Say it every day. Because the first voice you hear each morning should be your own, speaking command into your spirit. Then move, without phone, without delay, without checking nonsense. Get your blood moving. 5 push-ups, cold water, whatever wakes you. Shock the body into submission. Then feed the mind. Read something that makes you sharper. Listen to something that strengthens your mental edge. This is how you stop being soft. This is how you kill hesitation. This is how you train yourself to move like a soldier every damn day. And if you break the code, you correct immediately. No pity, no negotiation, just correction. Like a general correcting his troops. You don't allow sloppy energy. You don't accept weak thoughts. You shut it down and reset the system. That's what discipline is. It's not perfection. It's immediate correction. Get that in your blood. Now think about your day. How many minutes have you wasted on things that do not serve your growth? Conversations, videos, thoughts, actions. Start treating your energy like currency. Ask, would I spend this focus if it cost me money? Because it does. It costs you your momentum, your power, your future. You need to become ruthless about protecting your mind. That means silence over noise, stillness over chaos, simplicity over stimulation. That means saying no faster. That means being okay with being misunderstood. That means moving with focus, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Because you weren't born to blend in. You were born to break patterns, to set new standards, to become the man others point at and say, he moves different. You want people to notice? Make them feel it. In your calm, in your silence, in your consistency. You don't need to prove anything. You need to become something. And that something is disciplined, dangerous, devoted. Now look at your goals, the ones you wrote down. Are they just ideas, or have they become commands? Because from this moment forward, you don't have dreams, you have directives, and directives don't expire. Directives get done. Do this now. Choose one goal you've delayed for too long, and complete the first 10% in the next 24 hours. No matter what, no excuse, no delay, no explanation. Just action. Immediate, clean, silent execution. And when you're done, don't announce it. Just move to the next piece, and then the next. This is how you become unstoppable, not in theory, in movement. And if all of this has hit you hard, if something in you has awakened that you can't ignore, share this video now. Not for likes, for legacy. Share it with the men who need it, the ones who don't even know they're drowning. You might be the only voice that wakes them up. Now listen closely. You're already ahead of most, but we're not done. You're not just building discipline, you're becoming it. That means the old version of you is dying. The lazy one, the reactive one, the fragile one, let him die, burn him, bury him, and step fully into the identity you were born to wear. The world needs more men who lead themselves. Be that man. You've killed the old version of yourself, and now you walk as a new force, silent, sharp, precise. But hear this, with new identity comes new responsibility. Because once you become powerful, the world will test you harder. You thought the fight was over? It's just beginning. The moment you start moving like a man of discipline, the distractions evolve, the temptations sharpen, the pressure intensifies. Why? Because the weak systems you broke are trying to pull you back. They don't want to see you rise. They want to remind you of who you used to be. But you're no longer him. You don't answer old calls. You don't react to past triggers. You don't fall for the same traps. You move different now. You think with clarity. You act with force. You respond with silence. And above all, you never break your code. Your code is your protection. It's your armor. It's your sword. Every time you follow it, you win another internal battle. Every time you break it, you weaken your edge. So let's reinforce the code again, this time deeper. Say this right now in your mind. I do not negotiate with myself. I do not break for pressure. I do not fold for comfort. I execute. I repeat. I rise. Write it down. Comment it now. I follow my code. Let others scroll. You lock in, because the most powerful men are not loud, they are consistent, and consistency is built when your code becomes your default, not your option. Let me teach you what consistency really is. It's not perfection, it's not streaks, it's not hype, it's waking up and doing the hard thing again, even when no one's watching, even when you don't feel it, even when the results are invisible. That's real consistency. That's self-respect. Every time you show up when it's hard, you reinforce your identity. Every time you push through the pain, you teach your mind who's in charge. And after enough days, enough wins, enough reps, discipline becomes effortless. Not because it's easy, but because it's now who you are. And once it becomes your nature, people will start asking, how do you stay so consistent? How do you keep your energy so focused? How are you so in control? And you'll know the truth. Because you trained. Because you stayed. Because you refused to quit when it was boring. That's how elite men are built. In the shadows, in silence, in grind. While everyone else was talking, you were training. While they were watching, you were winning. Here's the exercise, and it's non-negotiable. Create a 7-day tracker just for you. No apps, no sharing. Just pen and paper. Track your food, your workouts, your sleep, your daily focus, your daily silence, and your reactions. And each night, review it like a soldier reviewing a mission. Ask, where did I break discipline? Where did I dominate? This daily feedback loop will transform you. Not overnight, but permanently. Because feedback creates clarity. And clarity creates power. When you start confronting your behavior with honesty, you remove the gaps. The excuses vanish. The patterns get fixed fast. And remember, this isn't about punishment. It's about precision. Discipline isn't suffering, it's structure. It's the container that holds your greatness. So start treating it like that. Stop seeing discipline as something painful. Start seeing it as something sacred. You don't discipline yourself to suffer. You discipline yourself to win. You discipline yourself to earn peace. You discipline yourself to become undeniable. Now look around. Think about the men you know. How many live by emotion? How many collapse under temptation? How many start things but never finish? And now look at you. Still here, still focused, still becoming. That alone should tell you your future is already being rewritten, one decision at a time. So make another decision now. Share this with one man who's lost control, not because he's weak, but because no one ever showed him how to fight. Let this message be the thing that wakes him up. Let your discipline ripple into someone else's destiny. And if you've watched this far and still haven't subscribed, it's time, because this isn't entertainment. This is weaponry. And every video from here on is going to push you further, sharpen your mind harder, strip away every layer of weakness you thought was permanent. You're not done. You're just now dangerous. And dangerous men don't stop at personal growth. They step into leadership, and that's what's next. You are not just building for you anymore. You're building for the ones watching you, the ones who follow your example, your family, your team, your bloodline. Yes, your bloodline. Because when you break the chains of weakness, of laziness, of emotional chaos, you don't just change your life, you change every life after yours. You become the first, the foundation, the legend. And legends aren't made by chance. They're forged in silence, through unshakable discipline. This is legacy now. You don't owe the world anything flashy. You owe your bloodline one thing: to be the man who never broke, who never begged, who never settled. So stand tall, finish the fight. Keep building in silence, and soon the world will feel the weight of the man you've become. Now we enter legacy. This is where the work gets sacred, because once a man forges himself through discipline, his duty becomes clear. He must lead. Not by words, not by status, but by example. Quiet, consistent, unshakable. His life becomes the sermon. His discipline becomes the message. Let's talk truth. The world is full of soft voices pretending to be strong, full of men who yell online and collapse offline, but not you. You're not here to perform. You're here to dominate. You're here to represent what real power looks like: calm, focused, disciplined. And when you live that way, something starts to happen. People notice, they watch how you walk, how you don't flinch under stress, how you stay silent when everyone else reacts. They feel your control without you needing to explain it. That's what makes a man magnetic. That's what makes him feared, respected, remembered, because real power doesn't ask for attention. It commands presence. But let me warn you, the stronger you become, the more resistance you'll face. The world will test your silence, challenge your consistency, pull at your patience, and you must remain grounded. Why? Because the moment you break character, they win. The moment you lose your temper, you hand over control. And control is everything. Control of your emotions, your environment, your inner voice. This is the final evolution of discipline. You no longer act with control. You live as control. People will ask, "What's your secret?" And you won't answer, because there is no secret. There's only the man you became while no one was watching. Let's make this tactical again. 3 things you start doing today. Number 1, master stillness. Set a timer. 5 minutes daily. Sit, eyes closed. No music, no scrolling, just breath and awareness. Learn to be present in the silence. It will train you to stop reacting to the world. Number 2, cut your maybe list. Anything you've been thinking about doing for more than 30 days, decide, commit or cut. Clarity creates power. Indecision leaks energy. Number 3, audit your presence. How do you walk, speak, sit, move? Everything you do is either training you to lead or to blend in. Practice moving like a man who doesn't need permission, who doesn't shrink, who owns his space without words. If you start applying just these 3, your entire presence will shift in 30 days. And if this message is hitting your soul, if it feels like I'm speaking directly to the fire inside you, pause now and share it. Share this message with someone who needs it. A brother, a friend, a man who's drifting in softness. You could be the trigger that wakes him up. This isn't content. This is war. Now let me give you something deeper. A truth most will never speak. You will suffer. Discipline will hurt. But so will regret. So will weakness. So will living a life beneath your potential. Pain is coming either way. But only one kind of pain builds legacy. Choose discipline. You'll lose sleep. You'll lose friends. You'll lose comfort. but you'll gain yourself. You'll gain the ability to look in the mirror with pride. You'll gain silence in your spirit. You'll gain unshakable confidence. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You now see discomfort as a signal. Every time it appears, you lean in. You don't avoid it, you don't pray it away. You train with it, because discomfort reveals where growth is hiding. Repeat this now in your mind. Discomfort is my teacher. Resistance is my gym. Pressure is my sharpening stone. Again, discomfort is my teacher. Resistance is my gym. Pressure is my sharpening stone. That's your new frame. That's how you interpret pain now. It doesn't break you, it builds you. You've heard it before. Discipline equals freedom. But you never understood what that meant until now. It doesn't mean luxury, it means self-respect. It means walking through the world without flinching. It means knowing that no matter what happens, you're prepared. Because you've trained, because you've suffered, because you've chosen the hard path long enough to earn the strength that can't be bought. Let's lock this in. Comment now. I choose pain with purpose. Say it loud. Say it proud. Let that be the line that separates you from who you used to be. This entire path isn't just about achievement. It's about becoming the man who doesn't flinch when life punches him in the mouth. Becoming the man who doesn't chase comfort because he knows it costs too much. Becoming the man who moves through chaos with calm, quiet power. That's the mission now. That's the legacy. To build yourself so strong, so rooted in discipline, that no one ever questions what you're made of. Let me ask you something personal. What would your younger self say if he saw you right now? Would he be proud, or would he wonder what happened? That's not guilt. That's fuel. That's why you must keep going. You're not just doing this for you. You're doing this for every version of you that ever doubted it was possible. And if you've made it this far, you're not just watching a video anymore. You're part of something few ever find, a movement, a transformation, a return to what men were designed to be, focused, disciplined, silent, and deadly. If you're not subscribed yet, fix that now, because what's coming next will make this look like the warm-up. We're not slowing down, we're going deeper, harder, louder inside, quieter outside. You're not preparing anymore, you're performing, daily, relentlessly, without noise, without excuse, without stopping. You are now officially one thing, unshakable. You need to understand something before we continue. This is not just another motivational video. This is not some extension of a trend. This is not mente implacable. This channel has one mission, one voice, one foundation, and that voice is mine, Napoleon Hill. Everything you hear, every word you absorb here, comes directly from the fire of my life's work. Not diluted, not modified, not updated for comfort. You are not here to feel good. You are here to wake up, to rise, to burn. Because I wrote Think and Grow Rich, not for the comfortable, but for the desperate, not for those who wish, but for those willing to bleed for their purpose. The same principles I gave the richest men in history, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Fords, I now give to you. The difference, they acted. Will you? Because this is your moment. This is the hour your life splits in two, before you chose discipline and after. So let me now give you what I gave them, not some checklist, not hacks, but laws, unbreakable, universal, eternal laws of success. Law number 1, definiteness of purpose. Until you decide what you want completely, fully, absolutely, you will remain weak, wandering, lost. Success begins when purpose becomes a command. Law number 2, faith in action, not belief in theory, but faith forged through discipline. When you act daily with unwavering resolve, results are inevitable, even if you don't see them yet. Law number 3, auto-suggestion. Your mind becomes what you feed it, not sometimes, always. Speak your code every morning, affirm your power, reprogram your subconscious to serve your mission. Law number 4, specialized knowledge. General knowledge makes you average. Specialized knowledge makes you a weapon. Master your craft. Study harder than anyone. Know your field so deeply that the world has no choice but to respect you. Law number 5, persistence. This is where most men fall. They move until resistance. Then they stop, but you keep going. You push through when it's dry, when it's lonely, when it's thankless. And now, law number 6, the mastermind. Surround yourself with no one but men of fire, men who force you to rise. Cut all softness from your circle. If they don't sharpen you, they weaken you. You absorb these laws. You apply them with daily discipline. You do that, and you become untouchable. Not because of what you have, but because of who you are. And that's the essence of my legacy. Success is not about money. It is about control. Control of your mind, control of your habits, control of your purpose. Because once your mind is dominated, the world is yours. But if your mind remains wild, no success will ever be sustainable. This is why discipline is not just a principle in my work. It is the foundation. You want riches? Then you must earn the right to command your mind. You want peace? Then you must earn it through mental battle. You want power? Then prove it daily, by how you move when no one sees you. This is the test, and most will fail. But you're still here, and that means something. It means this message isn't bouncing off your ego. It's piercing your core. It's cutting through the layers of distraction, doubt, and delay, and speaking directly to your inner king. So stand on your feet right now. I don't care if you're at home, on a train, at work. Stand up. Say this with me. I am a disciple of discipline. I follow the laws of success. I do not wait. I do not wish. I decide. I dominate. I become. Now breathe that in. Let it settle. Let it infect every corner of your being. You are not like the rest. You are now responsible for everything you know. You cannot unsee this. You cannot go back to weakness. You cannot pretend you didn't hear the call, because the voice of Napoleon Hill has now entered your mind. And once it's in, everything changes. You are now obligated to act, to move, to rise, to build your definite purpose, to apply faith daily, to train your mind like a soldier, to master your craft, to persist through everything, to surround yourself with warriors. This is your new code. This is the beginning of your second life. And if it burns, good, because fire purifies, fire reveals, fire prepares. Prepare for the final chapter. Prepare for your full transformation, because the last part of this message will bury your old self forever. Now we close, but not with softness, not with applause. We close like warriors, like men who walked through fire and emerged as something else, something final. This isn't motivation. This isn't inspiration. This is declaration. From now on, you are no longer one of them. You are not like the men who scroll. You are not like the men who react. You are not like the men who wish. You are now the man who moves, who executes, who finishes. And that transformation, it didn't come from noise. It came from discipline, from silence, from suffering, from staring weakness in the face and saying, "Not today." You're not here because you want more. You're here because you want mastery. And mastery only comes to those who are willing to die to their old self. So hear this. You don't flinch anymore. You don't wait anymore. You don't need permission, applause, support, or ease. You are now the man who carries his own fire, who walks into the unknown with calm, who faces the chaos and says, "I trained for this." That is who you are. That is what this channel was built for. Not for entertainment, not for subscribers, but for transformation. Through one voice, one legacy, one standard. Mine, Napoleon Hill. I gave my life to this. Every page I wrote, every law I crafted, every principle I tested. It wasn't theory, it was war. A war I fought inside myself. And now you've fought it too. And now you've won. Because discipline isn't about how much you do. It's about who you become while doing it. It's about becoming a man whose presence silences a room. Not because he's loud, but because he's mastered himself. That's what the world respects, not the man who talks, but the man who owns himself so deeply he doesn't need to speak. You've seen him, you've felt that man in glimpses, but now he's permanent. He wakes up before the sun, he keeps his word. He moves in silence. He doesn't beg, he doesn't complain, he doesn't need to be seen, because he knows. Results speak, character echoes. Discipline builds empires. Now let me speak to the part of you that still fears. Yes, there will be pain. Yes, it will be lonely. Yes, most won't understand. But hear me, you will not break, you will not fold, you will not go back. You're too far in, you're too deep into your new identity, and you've burned the bridge to the past. Let others waste time, let others chase distraction, let others live untrained, but you're training for something bigger, for something eternal. Your name will outlive you, your discipline will echo in rooms you never enter, your actions will ripple into bloodlines that don't yet exist. You are legacy now. Say it with me. I am not weak. I am not average. I am not reactive. I am disciplined. I am forged. I am the one who moves without noise. I am the one who trains in silence. I am the one who wins the war within. I am unshakable. That's your truth now. Tattoo it on your soul. Engrave it into your rituals. Carry it in your spine. Because this world does not reward talk. It rewards power. And power begins and ends with discipline. So move with purpose, move with certainty, move like a man who can no longer be broken. And one last thing, if you ever find yourself slipping, if you ever feel the old self clawing its way back in, come back here, replay this, start from the beginning. Remind yourself what you buried, remind yourself what you became. This is not a moment, this is your rebirth, this is your war cry. And now the world will watch in silence as the most disciplined version of you dominates everything.